Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I should be coming through the correct microphone this morning. It's good to see everybody. I have had a wonderful morning so far. I hope that you have too. Yesterday, I did not get anywhere close to what I wanted to get done. I was exhausted. I can't tell you how much I actually ended up sleeping yesterday. I ended up taking a long nap. And the only thing that really of substance got done, which is not terribly, it doesn't move things forward too much, but I did take a look at Foundry VTT in more detail. So a lot of people have been talking about it, and I glanced by it. And so I got into more detail watching YouTube videos on it last night and how it works. And I got to admit, that looks pretty cool. There may be some way that we can use it on our projects over here. So definitely thank you for the recommendation. Hello, everybody. Morning. Inner Light is here. Good morning, Stray. Obedient Mammal. Welcome, Obedient Mammal. It's always good to have somebody in the chat who can help us out with character creation. That is what we're going to be looking at today. Let's see. Nobody seems to be saying they can't hear me, so that sounds good. What we're going to be looking at today is character creation, because I realized there was something that we hadn't gone over in the beginner box. And I think this is basically the last subject, which is actually how to create a character. I skipped that because I wanted to get right into how to play. You know, if somebody says, hey, I want to play Pathfinder, how do you play? I don't think the first answer should be, okay, you got to create a character, and here's how. Because I'm a big fan of pre-generated characters, and if I want to start playing Pathfinder, we got pre-generated characters in this box. We can start going on an adventure. So if we want to know what Pathfinder is all about and how to play, I don't think that's character creation. But now that we've been through been through how to play in a lot of other videos and looked at a whole bunch of different aspects of this game, well, now if we want to create our own character, it does have rules in the beginner's box Hero's Handbook. That's what I'm looking at. So we're going to look at the rules for how to create a character that are inside the beginner's box. But we also do have the core rule book on standby right over here if we need it. Hey, Theo. Hey, Zero the Blade. Creation. Look at how this works so I can turn my 2 favorite 5e PCs into Pathfinder PCs. I'm hoping that is an easy thing to do. Oh, Obedient Mammal says, it sounds scary, but super easy and is actually a lot of fun. Good, good. Zero the Blade says, my Tabaxi Sorcerer will become a Kitsune Sorcerer, but my Tabaxi Inquisitive Rogue is still up in the air about if I want to keep him a rogue or make him an Inquisitor. So I see people, tea Earl Grey hot. I'd even made coffee this morning. I got to make coffee this morning in a fish do not drink tea mug. Hey, you know, sometimes I think I've been forgetting to breathe and sip in the beginning of this now. So if you're new here, let's take 2 deep breaths. Everybody together, take 2 deep breaths, complete exhale. You'll feel better. And then at the end, let's take a sip of whatever beverage it is you have. See, helps me calm down too. It'll help you out as well. Good morning, Ryan. I'm seeing so many people here. There's PJF with the tea Earl Grey hot. Excellent choice this morning. Retro Nerd Girl is here as well, having a fabulous morning. I am. All right. Well, welcome to everybody. Welcome to everybody. All right. So let me turn on the auxiliary camera. Oh, no. We just go to the morning messages briefly, and then we will turn on the auxiliary camera system and get to what it says about character creation. The Morning Grind is brought to you by World Anvil. For all the RPG players out there, World Anvil offers extensive character management, including character sheets, journals, inventory, and spellbook. Everything a player looking to lose themselves in their character could want. Use the code MORNINGGRIND to get 40% off yearly subscriptions. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the world of Ataltis. The Ataltis Game Master's Guide includes brand new rules for hauntings, magical corruption, goodwill, character resolve, skill specialties, and more. Check it out on ataltis.com and get it for your table. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the Thrones and Bones Viking-inspired fantasy RPG setting. Sagas of Norengard features 7 adventures designed for characters of levels 3 to 8. With the adventures in the campaign book, you have 1st to 8 level adventures ready to go. Get the books on DriveThruRPG today. And thank you for being here with me live on The Morning Grind. And if you're watching on replay, welcome to you as well. It's great to have you here. If you're enjoying The Morning Grind, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I would be very thankful. We also have the Ravenkeep Discord server you can join if you would like to be a part of the community. Alright, that's what you need to know. Let's get to the main topic. Alright, you know, I got up and I did 3 hours of core creative time this morning. So I was up at 5, I heeded the call to adventure, did 3 hours of working on core creative projects. I was working on the Rabavania World Primer, got nearly 750 words written. I think I got 700. Maybe later tonight I can pick up the additional 50. My goal for a day, which I've been terribly bad at over the past 2 weeks, 750 words a day, because I've got a lot of writing to do. But I got that introductory passage to Tales of Rabavania finished. We were starting to look at about the top third of it yesterday, but I got the rest of it finished. May still require some editing, but basically finished. So making great progress. So feel great this morning as well. So Stray's putting down the Discord server link. Thank you so much. Yes, Retro Nerd Girl says gulped down the coffee hours ago, but catching up on the breathing. Forgot to do that. The breathing is so important. And thank you, Stray, for putting down the Discord server link. Okay. All right. So let me turn on the auxiliary camera system. Let's get the light going. And let's figure out how to create a character. So this is out of the beginner's box, Heroes Handbook in the beginner's box. And I do have one of the character sheets here, so we can go ahead and fill it out. It comes with blank character sheets as well. So we've got front and back right here. So we have that to fill out. I feel like I should have something extra to put that piece of paper on. I'll look for something. I don't like putting a book underneath it. Anyway, we'll fix it or something. This is kind of squishy, but whatever. Okay, so I did notice that. So the solo adventure that we already played. We did the I think we did the example of play 2 and getting started. So now we're going to be looking at this chapter here that's creating your hero. But over here, character creation summary goes. The full summary over here, which is nice. So this fits on one page, the summary of what exactly is it supposed to do. Well, the full details for character creation start on page 12. Letters and circles refer to the sections on the blank character sheet. So step 1 is create a concept. Start with the basic idea of the character you want to play. Step 2, start building ability modifiers. Your hero's ability modifiers each start at +0 and will increase as you build your character. Select an ancestry, dwarf, elf, or human. There may be, and probably are, additional races, or as they call them, ancestries here in the core rule book. But it looks like we got 3 here in the starter box. Pick a background. We've got acolyte, criminal, deckhand, farmhand, gambler, scholar, or warrior. Then we choose a class, and in this intro box, at least we have got cleric, fighter, rogue, and wizard, and we've got examples of each one of those that were part of the character iconic characters that were already pre-made in here. Then we buy equipment. Take the starting package equipment for the class that you choose. I like starting equipment by class like that. Just makes things go faster. That's one of the things that always seems to slow down. All right, now everybody buy all of your equipment. Then use the money left over to purchase any extra items. And then finish your hero. Finish up by calculating the statistics for everything you've chosen through the rest of the progress. Skills, perception, saving throws, defenses, and weapons and attacks. So that sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? And we saw when we went through the first edition box that we thought they do a pretty good job telling you exactly what to do in a step-by-step fashion in a way that many other RPGs do not. I like that. I like that art right there. I like that. It is tasty coffee. It sure is. It is cultist coffee this morning. Adam, Academic Menace says it's cultist coffee, and it actually exactly is. I'll show you exactly what it is. Over there at Ravenkeep, it is. This is our custom cultist coffee blend. I shipped some of these out just the other day. Somebody got some. So they're on the ravenkeep.net as well as the mugs. It is good coffee. Yeah, I like all the logos are spoofs of the Starbucks logo. There's Witch's Brew too. So it is good. It is. I did a coffee tasting to specifically select that. So those two different blends, both Cultist Coffee and Witch's Brew, have different blends. If you'd like some or some of the mugs, I don't have many of the mugs left, but I will be happy to ship them to you. All right. So let's see what's going on with getting started here. I'm on page, oh no, that's getting started just in general. Let's go over here to creating your hero and see what it says. These pages provide a step-by-step guide for creating your Pathfinder hero. The steps of character creation are presented in a suggested order, guiding you through the early stages of your hero's life story, but you can complete them in whatever order you prefer. For instance, you might know you want to play a wizard before you've decided that the wizard needs to be an elf. At the very end of character creation, you'll calculate your statistics. Many steps of character creation ask you to make choices about your ability modifiers. These statistics are essential to your character and are explained in detail in the green box on the next page. Ability modifiers. Okay. So have we done away with the actual ability scores? And we just go with the modifiers? That makes sense to me. Let's see here. Yeah, well, we do have. Retro Nerd Girl says you've got your own coffee. Amazing. Yeah, I do have my own coffee. It seems like a lot of people. I did coffee a while back ago. I went to the coffee tasting and made up the blend of exactly what we wanted. What did it taste like? So I did that a while back ago. Now I noticed that a lot of people have their own coffees. But I figured with the cultists, I wanted to have some products that were associated with the cultist show, and so I made up the mugs with the Starbucks logo for both Cultist Coffee and Witch's Brew, and the Fish Do Not Drink Tea mug, and then also made associated coffee, because we're talking about practice, how everything we've been doing has been practice steps from the beginning to going where we're trying to go with the worlds of Rabavania and Theophany. So creating a web show and then also making associated products and merchandise was part of that. So the first thing we created was the coffee and the mugs to go along with our web show. So that's what we did. And taught a bunch of the people around here as well, because I already had experience with like setting up the Shopify store and putting all that into fulfillment and stuff like that and getting products manufactured. So we taught other people who were with us about that process by creating those products. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out then the 6 ability modifiers. Ability modifiers represent your hero's raw potential. They influence almost every statistic on your character sheet. Determining your ability modifiers happens over several steps during character creation. Strength. Strength measures your hero's raw physical power. Strength gets added to attack rolls and damage rolls in hand-to-hand combat. Dexterity. Dexterity measures agility, balance, and reflexes. Add dexterity to attack rolls with ranged weapons, AC, and reflex saving throws. Constitution measures your hero's overall health and stamina. Constitution is added to your hit points and fortitude saving throws. Intelligence measures how well your hero can learn and reason. A high intelligence determines how many skills your hero has. Wisdom. Wisdom measures your hero's common sense, awareness, and intuition. Wisdom is added to your perception and will saving throws. Charisma. Charisma measures your hero's personal magnetism and strength of personality. A high charisma helps your heroes influence other people. So that's sort of standard for D20 Dungeons & Dragons style games. So step 1 is create a concept. What sort of hero do you want to play? The answer to this question might be as simple as a brave warrior, or as complicated as the child of elven wanderers, but raised in a city dominated by humans and devoted to somebody told me how to pronounce that. Sarenrae. That may not have been right. But Sarenrae, goddess of the sun. Consider your hero's personality. Write out a few details of their past and think about why they are adventuring. We got some information on our statistics here. Obedient Mammal says they all start at 10 and add bonuses and flaws according to their ancestry, background, and classes. Don't forget, at the end, you get to pick 4 stats to put boosts in. You cannot put boosts into the same stat. Okay, thank you for the clarification. So we are starting with some type of score and then deriving bonuses from there. Obedient Mammal says, for example, the last 4 free you get to pick. You can't pick strength, 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 and dex. Okay, start building ability modifiers. Now you need to start building your hero's ability modifiers. Your hero's ability modifiers start at +0. As you select your ancestry, background, and class, you'll increase them. This is a good time to identify which ability modifiers will be most important to your hero. Step 3, select an ancestry. Is your hero a sturdy dwarf, a graceful elf, or a versatile human? Ancestry determines your hero's speed and contributes to their hit points. Each ancestry improves ability modifiers to represent that ancestry's basic capabilities. You'll also choose which of your ancestry's 3 heritages, which give your hero a special ability. Okay. Step 4 will be pick a background. Your hero's background might represent their upbringing, an aptitude they've been honing since their youth, or another aspect of their life before they became an adventurer. Choose from acolyte, criminal, deckhand, farmhand, scholar, or warrior. Your hero's background improves their ability modifiers and grants a special ability. Go to page 18 to choose a background. Step 5 is choose a class. A class gives your hero a suite of heroic abilities and determines their role in a fight. Each class has 3 options that let you decide what type of hero you want to be. Will you play a devoted cleric, a mighty fighter, a cunning rogue, or a studious wizard? Go to page 20 for cleric, 26 for fighter, 30 for rogue, and 34 for wizard. I typically play a lot of clerics. I play a lot of fighters and clerics. Lately, I did really enjoy playing a necromancer wizard. So I played. I wonder what we'll build today. Actually, we might build a rogue, just because I don't think I've ever played a rogue before. Step 6, buy equipment. Every hero needs equipment. Begin by the starting equipment package for the class you choose, and then use money left over to purchase any extra items you want. Step 7, finish your hero. The last step in creating your hero is to calculate the statistics based on the choices they've made in the process. You've made it in the process. All right. So let's just go through these steps here. I think we'll do rogue because I've never made one. Saren Ray. Okay. Saren Ray. Gotcha. Let's see. Jagger says at least all full character sheets still use ability scores outside the beginner box. At least all full character sheets still do use ability scores outside the beginner box. Okay, got you. Witch's Brew is also good. Witch's Brew is also good. I should show it. This is the Witch's Brew, since it's come up, with the witch logo based on the Starbucks logo. So this is walnut, dark chocolate, and caramel. The flavors I found out when doing the testing, there's not actually like caramel flavor in here. It just has to do with what coffee beans and how they roast them that they end up with different flavors. I've been to wine tastings before and knew all about wine. I didn't personally know all about wine, but as far as like how they do wine tastings and things like that, so I knew that. But I had never actually been to a coffee tasting before when they're blending. They are just as complicated on the coffee side of things as the wine people are. I didn't know that. I learned that. I was going to bring up. Jeff asks, why do so many TTRPGs use classes? Are they necessary? Do they make the game easier for players and developers? So Rambler says classes make it easier to add modifications and easier for players to identify it. Sort of a starting tool. Yeah, are they necessary? No, they're not. They're not necessary. But for instance, GURPS does not use character classes, and I've long been a fan of GURPS. You decide on every skill and everything that your character has individually using a point-based system. A lot of people appreciate that flexibility, including me. But especially in today's world, I've found that most players who want to sit down and play a character have some type of archetype that they want to play, some kind of idea that they want to play. And so if you have something like classes, then the person who says, hey, I want to be a warrior, hey, I want to be a thief, hey, I want to be a wizard, it's already kind of preset and ready to go, and we can make those kinds of characters much easier and much faster. Because even if you sit down and play GURPS and you want to do like fantasy GURPS, which you can handle any type of system, you're going to sit down, you're going to make up whatever kind of character you want individually based on all of these points. But what happens a lot of the time anyway, a lot of the time people still end up trying to make iconic and archetypical characters like fighters, like thieves, like rogues, like sorcerers. And so it really helps if you have some way that you don't always have to be starting from scratch. You don't always have to be starting from zero. You can just start from here, and you've got basically a class that applies to your character. GURPS did the same thing when it came out with Dungeon Fantasy, because you can make up templates. Like the game master can say, hey, if you want to be a knight in my world, these are the kind of stats and statistics and everything that a knight has, and then apply that like a template. They don't use the word class, but it's like a template. So even though some people feel like, oh my God, I'm so constricted because I have to pick this character class, actually most, or a template or whatever it is, I find most of the time that it facilitates people actually creating the kinds of characters they're most typically wanting to play anyway. And then lots of different classes have plenty of variation inside of them. Joe says, use Path Builder. It's easier and streamlined and have all the options. You can even generate a link to share your character. The free version has the basic rules. We will have to check that out one day. We will definitely check that out. So BGD says, designing a rogue always poses the big question first. Build a deadly cutthroat assassin or an unstoppable skill monkey. Yeah, we got people working on systems here as well. Savages and Sorceries is a TTRPG that Inner Light's working on that does not use classes. It's based on talents acquired through a skill system. So, no, not necessary. Obedient Mammal says, may I say something that Paizo just released a little while ago, kind of an amendment to Ancestries? Just don't want to confuse anyone. Okay. Well, all right, we may have to look at that. But at the moment, we'll just go the way it is here in this book. Okay, so our ancestries. Your character's ancestry determines which people they call their own, whether that's diverse and ambitious humans, insular, vivacious elves, or traditionalist and family-focused dwarves. Your character's ancestry might be a key part of their identity, shape how they see the world, and help them find a place in it, or what they're rebelling against. Could we do a dwarf rogue? I don't think I've ever created... That may not be right. If I've created dwarves, it hadn't been very many. Okay, when you choose your character's ancestry, you'll gain a set of benefits that every member of the ancestry gets. Dwarves can see in the dark, and elves can move more quickly than humans. But ancestries aren't monolithic. Each ancestry has 3 heritages that grant additional benefits. For example, humans with skilled human heritage have the most skills, while woodland elves gain advantages on the woods to move even faster than other elves. Maybe a wood elf rogue. Kind of like maybe inspired by the elves from Dragon Prince. That could be cool. Once you've chosen an ancestry, so maybe it's like the assassin type then. Once you've chosen ancestry, you'll choose your fighter's heritage within that ancestry, your character's ancestry within that heritage, and gain its benefits as well. So we do have dwarf here. We have elf right here, and we got human right here. I believe. Okay, then we get into backgrounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and be an elf. Let's try an elf rogue. It's kind of like an assassin inspired by the Dragon Prince. Let's try that. Okay, so this says elf. As an ancient people, elves have the perspective that can come with only from watching the arc of history. The world has changed around them, and they struggle to reclaim their ancestral homes, most notably from terrible demons that have infested their lands. Though renowned for their grace, beauty, and knowledge, they place far more importance on personal freedom. If you pick the elf ancestry, write elf in the ancestry section of your character sheet, which is A. All right, and you will get the following abilities. So we are elf right here. Elven boosts. Elves are both nimble and clever. Add +1 to both your dexterity and intelligence. So what I'll do is I'll just keep this a running total right there, but I'll add +1 to intelligence and also +1 to dexterity. Hit points. Elves are slender and slightly frailer compared to other ancestries. Put 6 in the maximum box in the hit point area. 6. Hit points. Hit point maximum, 6. Although you will add more to this amount later. Speed. With their long legs and easy grace, elves are a bit faster than people of most ancestries. Put 30 down for your speed as an elf. Elves can see well in dim light. Write low light vision in the senses and notes under perception H. Senses and notes, so this is low light vision. All right. I actually have no idea. W3 Techie says, aren't classes originally the invention of David Arneson? I have no idea. Could be. Could be. Okay, so low light vision. Pick an elf heritage. Like most folk around the world, there are many different kinds of elves hailing from different regions and families. Pick one of the following lineages and write it in the heritage area under your ancestry. A. Then add its abilities to your character sheet. Elves can live for hundreds of years, and after spending enough time on one locale, they adapt to match their surroundings. Their skin and hair can even change, such as woodland elves taking on the colors of trees and leaves around them. Therefore, many elf heritages are connected to the environments in which they live. We've got cavern elf, whisper elf, and wood elf. Okay, so let's just look at what all 3 of them are. We may go wood elf, kind of classic, but cavern elf. You were born underground or spent many years in tunnels or caverns where light is scarce. Write dark vision in the senses and notes under perception. Dark vision lets you see even in total darkness, although only in black and white. In addition, so we're returning to the black and white nature of dark vision. I like that. In addition, in the ancestry ability A, write unwavering mine, M-I-E-N, or mean. Decrease the duration of a unwavering mean. Decrease the duration of mental effort that lasts at least 2 rounds by 1 round. This protects you against magic that would affect your mind, letting you recover much faster. A whisper elf. Your ears are finely tuned, able to detect even the slightest whispers of sound. In the senses and notes box under perception, H, write Whisper Elf +2 to perception to hear creatures within 30 feet. In addition, in the ancestry ability area, A, write Elven Weapon Familiarity, trained in the longbow, short sword, rapier, and short bow. These are some of the traditional weapons favored among elven kind, so you've learned about them regardless of the class that you choose. Woodland Elf. You've adapted to life in the forest or deep jungle, and you know how to climb trees and use foliage to your advantage. In the skill notes area, G, write Woodland Elf, climb in forest at half speed on a success and full speed on a critical success. In addition, in the ancestry ability area of your character sheet, write Nimble Elf, your speed increases by 5 feet, change your speed to 35 feet. Well, the weapon familiarity does sound pretty good, but let's go Woodland Elf. So this is Heritage. So I'm going to put Heritage Woodland. And then under G, skills, in the notes area. Oh, skill notes down here. So WE Woodland Elf, climb in forests at half speed on success and full speed. Not a lot to write all that. On critical success. That sounds like it would go well with like a Dragon Prince style Wood Elf assassin. Okay, so then in addition, on the ancestry ability of your character sheet, A, write Nimble Elf. Nimble, I'm just going to say +5 speed. So I am pretty fast here. So instead of 30 feet, I have a speed of 35 feet. So probably one of the fastest in the party. Let's see. Cavern Elf, kind of like the Drow. Kind of what I thought it was. W3 Techie says, you should see some of the elven subraces from first edition. They've tapped into dramatic folklore to create many of them. Really cool. I don't have the first edition book. I had the first edition starter set. I guess that, seeing in grayscale. I guess the term grayscale is too much for D&D. All right. So we have done that. So we have decided that's our influence. Oh, we do have names here. It says an elf keeps their personal name secret from those outside their family, giving a nickname when other people meet them. This nickname can change over time due to the events in the elf's life or on a whim. An elf might be known by many different names to associates of various ages and regions. Elven names consist of multiple syllables and are meant to flow lyrically, at least in the elven tongue. So sample names include Arella, Ambronel, Aura, Caladrel, Darala. Well, we just come up with one of these. Caladrel. That sounds pretty cool. Let's be Caladrel. Character name Caladrel. All right. Next, moving on. Backgrounds. While your character's ancestry reflects the circumstances of their birth, this background represents the next step in their life story. Consider what events set your character on their path to a life of adventurer and how these circumstances relate to their background. A background can help you learn or portray more about the character's personality while also suggesting what sorts of things they are likely to know. Choose a background. Choose one of the following backgrounds for your character: Acolyte, Criminal, Deckhand, Farmhand, Gambler, Scholar, or Warrior. Well, what could be the best for our rogue, our kind of like assassin type rogue? I kind of feel like we might want to go Warrior. Gambler could also be neat, but I feel like if we're trying to make an assassin, maybe we should go Warrior, because like the was at a young age inside the elf training regimen for their assassins. Why are the cat folk slower than elves? I don't know. Let's see. All right, so let's go warrior then. Let's say that I've been in the training pipeline for a long time. So it says, as a warrior, in your younger days, you waded into battle as a mercenary, a warrior defending your people, or a member of a militia or army. You might have wanted to break out from the regimented structure of these forces, or you could always have been an independent warrior as you are now. Add +1 to my strength. Strength +1. If you become a fighter, add +1 to your constitution instead. And I'm thinking I'm not going to become a fighter because I'm going rogue. You trained in the intimidation skill or medicine if you're a fighter, and the warfare lore skill. Write warfare under lore. Lore warfare. Extra E there. Warfare. Under lore in skills G, and check the T box for your proficiency in these skills. So T right here, but also it's intimidation. I don't get free medicine. I want to be sure I get medicine. We talked about how good that was. So since I'm not a fighter, I get free medicine. If I were, I'd get free medicine. That sounds good though. So intimidation. So right there, I'm now trained in that. All right. Next up, classes, right? So let's go over. We got cleric in here. We got cleric spells, fighter. Here we are at rogue. Use your wits and quick reactions. You take advantage of your opponent's missteps to strike where it hurts the most. You seek thrills to test your skills, and you likely don't care much for any laws that happen to get in your way. While every rogue follows a unique path, the one thing you all share is the breadth and depth of your skills. So play a rogue if you want to sneak up on your foes to deal more damage, steal things without being seen, excel at a variety of skills, use trickery to solve problems during adventures. During combat encounters, you move about stealthily so you can catch your foes unaware. If you're a precision instrument, more useful against tough bosses or distant spellcaster than against rank and file soldiers. While exploring, you sneak about to get the drop on foes to scout ahead for danger and traps. You're a great asset since you can disable traps, solve puzzles, and participate in dangers. So first level class features. If you decide to play a rogue, write the following things on your character sheet. Rogues are very nimble. Add +3 to your dexterity. All right, so now my dexterity is +4. Keeping the running total here. Then pick 3 other ability modifiers and add +1 to each of those. You can't pick the same ability modifier more than once. So it says pick 3 others, so I can't pick dexterity again. Well, let's go +1 to charisma. Let's go +1 to intelligence. I feel like since I'm kind of going the warrior route, I should have additional strength. Inner Light says, I always imagine night vision as actual black and white, not grayscale. So things would be closer. Would be seen as white with black borders, and the most distant texture would be black. Oh, interesting. Avalon says, those +1 are to modifiers. Each of those pluses and minuses is like going from 10 to 12. Yeah, we are working with modifiers here. So it says, let me look over here. We'll just see. So if we got what's going on in the core book. So give us an example character in the beginning. Okay, yep, over here we do have ability modifiers. So we have over here in the core book, we have 6 ability scores. And then the scores provide modifiers. So right here. So yeah, so 10 or 11 provided +0. So 12 to 13 would require +1. I don't know what they're going to use the skills, the actual actual scores for, but in many cases, I feel like we could just straight use the modifiers like we're doing here. So, all right, hit points. Rogues can take some damage, allowing you to move in and out from the front lines. Add 8 to your maximum hit points. They get added to the hit points gained from your ancestry choice. Then add your constitution to this total. So we've got 6 right here. Okay, so that would give me 14 hit points plus my constitution, which is 0. So my maximum hit points becomes 14. If I'm understanding that right. Because it says add it to my ancestry. So. Oh, Joe says warrior means you should place some boosts on your charisma to be able to use your charisma skills. I did put 1. Deception, intelligence, diplomacy, all useful in combat. Let's see. Obedient Mammal says, I was going to say that at the end, Avalon, each plus that way is actually a +2 to your score, right? Stray says, maybe explain for new people why you're checking or ticking off boxes. You mean these boxes over here? So these are the skills, and our skill bonus is going to be a total of some type of ability score bonus. As you can see, each skill is associated with a ability modifier, and then whether or not you are proficient in that skill. So this is your proficiency right here. And so if I'm trained in a skill, my proficiency level is, my proficiency bonus is 2 plus my level. And I'm going to be level 1. I'm level 1 right now. We haven't gotten to that. But that would mean that being proficient in something gives me an addition. Being trained, my proficiency level of training in something gives me +3 to that, in addition to whatever my bonus over here is. And we're going to calculate that in the end. So that's what those bubbles mean right there. Chase says, I like how the beginner book has the cleric spells right there with the class. Nice not to have to flip through the book to find them. Yeah, I know. Their organization is great. I like that too. So spells, and I believe we're going to see, like, we got like rogue abilities. Second level rogue features, third level rogue features. Yeah, it's all under that right there. So their organization is really good here for the beginner's boxes. Yeah. Everything has trained, expert, master, and legendary. Those are your different types of proficiency. Oh, Piccadilly says that fun official lore fact, elves are aliens. They come to Galorian from a different planet. Galarian. I believe that's Galarian. Comes to Galarian from a different planet. I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about Galorian. Maybe World Building Wednesdays we can do that. Hey, the Nose Plays. Good to see you. Been listening while at work. Again, very happy to. Very glad to have you here. Good to see you. Okay, so hit points, initial proficiencies. At first level, you gain the listed proficiency ranks in the following statistics. You're untrained in anything not listed unless you gain a better proficiency rank some other way. For each of these following items, check the T box for that statistics if you're trained, and both boxes if you're an expert. So skills, G, trained in acrobatics. So we got some more skills. These were because of my background right here. So I'm trained in acrobatics. I am trained in athletics. I am trained, this does say for each one, doesn't it? You gain the listed proficiency ranks in the following statistics. Okay, so yeah, I'm not supposed to choose them. I'm pretty sure they're all mine. Athletics, deception, diplomacy, intimidation. I've already got intimidation. So I already got intimidation. I don't think that means I moved to expert. I think it just means that I continue to be trained in that. That's at least my understanding at the moment. Intimidation. Oh, medicine. I do get medicine. Okay, that's good. Society. Stealth. And thievery. Perception. I am an expert in perception. I kind of want to play this character now. This sounds like it'd be fun. No, okay, but I got to go over to, where is my perception? Perception, right over here. It says check both boxes if I am an expert. All right, so both of those get colored in. It's like I'm back in school filling out boxes for a test. So expert means 5+ level. So that would mean that I've got, 4+ level, which means I'm going to have a 5 over here on that. Saving throw, I am trained in fortitude. All right. I am an expert. Oh, I am an expert in will and reflex saving throws. I quite like this. Defenses, I am trained in light armor and in unarmored defense. All right. And then attacks. I am trained in simple weapons. Fists. Rapier. Let's see. Trained in simple weapons, fist. So I guess these, I need to list these. Short bow. See, rapier. So melee weapon. I'm going to put rapier right here. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Rapier right there. And I'm trained in it. Short bow. We'll put that under ranged weapon. Short bow. And it says that I'm trained in that. And then another one that says short sword. I feel like more like a short sword guy than a rapier guy. And it says I'm trained in that. All right. Joe says intimidation glare means you demoralize. Your demoralize action is visual and not bound to the use of language. You can intimidate animals and things that don't understand you easily. Oh, interesting. Obedient Mammal says, Heath, under the same category, you can't pick more than one. So you can select decks from your ancestry and your class and your background and your free selection. Oh, okay. So you could do that. So Obedient Mammal is saying that you can select decks from your ancestry and from your class and from your background. And then but you can't double up on your free picks. Joe says you should not worry about the skill for a rogue. You gain 7+ intelligence. Obedient Mammal says, and the skill bonuses does not stack. For instance, you are an expert in a skill, you don't gain the +2 for trained and the +4 for expert. You only gain the +4. You use the highest modifier, not the combination. Chase says you can't be higher than trained at first level. In the core book, it will usually tell you to choose another skill if a duplicate comes up. Intimidation double trained doesn't move to expert, but I think you get to choose another skill per the background. Oh, let's look at that. Backgrounds. It did say something like I didn't write down in the background ability B. Did I write that down? I forgot to write that down. Background ability B. That's where intimidating glare goes. Oh, so my background, I didn't write that down. My background is warrior. And that I do have intimidating glare. And that says you can demoralize foes with a mere glare. If you do, the target has to see you instead of needing to hear you, and you don't take a penalty for not using language. Okay, but it does say at +1, you're trained in the intimidation skill or medicine if you're a fighter, and the warrior lore skill, warfare lore skill. Write warfare under lore and check the T box for your proficiency in those skills. I don't see something about getting to choose another one. But maybe. That's a good point, because I got intimidation here and I had intimidation over there. So I don't think that stacks up, but there we go. Oh, so it does say that. If you're already trained in X, choose another skill to be trained in. Okay, well, let me just choose another skill to be trained in then. Being a wood elf, it kind of seems like I should be trained in nature. I'll make a note, just put note over here so that if I realize I've got too many, that was the one that I picked. Cat Monroe says, hi, just listening while trying to decide if I should post my memories of last night's GURPS game. Was it a fun game? Beamer's RQ says, my first second edition character is a goblin thief rogue in the Age of Ashes, currently at level 19. He's a blast to play and quite strong in combat with tons of tricks. So Avalon says those individual weapons are martial weapons. That's why they're listed separately. Yeah, so I noticed martial up here. I don't have access to all martial weapons, but I've got certain weapons that I'm proficient in. Yeah, those are just weapons that I gain proficiency in. Oh, yeah. Be safe driving. Be safe driving, Vision. Okay, so next up. Thief. Let's see. Nothing beats the thrill of taking something that belongs to someone else, especially if you can do so completely unnoticed. You might be a pickpocket working the streets or a cat burglar sneaking through windows and escaping via rooftops. When you attack with a melee weapon that has the finesse trait, like a short sword, rapier, or dagger, you can add your dexterity to damage rolls instead of your strength. On your character sheet, write your dexterity in the damage box instead of your strength. So here, damage. So rapier or a short sword. Instead of using strength, I'm going to use dex. And right now, my dex modifier is +4. You can also use the thievery skill, which I am trained in, to steal an item that's closely guarded, such as in a pocket, without taking the -5 penalty you would normally take. You still can't steal objects that would be extremely noticeable or time-consuming to remove, like worn armor or the weapon an enemy is actively holding. Write this in the skill notes section of your character sheet. G. Man, I got more skill notes I got to write in G. I'm just going to say pickpocket without -5. Sneak attack. When your enemy can't properly defend itself, you take advantage to deal extra damage. To use the sneak attack, you must use your fist, a melee weapon with the agile or finesse trait, a thrown dagger, or a ranged weapon. When you use one of these attacks to strike a creature that has a flat-footed condition, you deal an extra d6 damage. A creature can become flat-footed if you surprise them with your surprise attack ability, see below, if they can't see you because it's dark, or if you're using the stealth skill, or if they're directly between you and an ally. A flat-footed creature is easier to hit. Write sneak attack 1d6 in the class abilities box on C. Class abilities, level 1, sneak attack 1d6. Oh, and so my class is going to be rogue. I like this. Access Shooter Light says, looks like we're filing taxes. It does. Surprise attack. Okay, so surprise attack. You spring into combat faster than foes can react. On the first round of an encounter, when you rolled stealth for initiative, creatures that haven't acted have the flat-footed condition, but only against you. Write surprise attack in class abilities level 1 on the character sheet. Surprise attack. All right. Rogue trickery. The final choice you must make as a rogue is the type of trickery you use during your adventures. You might be a harrier who scares your opponents, a trap spotter who specializes in finding and disabling dangerous traps, or a twin trickster who likes to use 2 weapons to throw your enemies off guard. Each option gives you a special ability. Write your choice and the abilities it grants in the class abilities level 1 of your character sheet. Well, sounds like twin trickster should be it. That seems like it fits with the whole idea of the elf assassins from Dragon Prince. So twin trickster. As a twin trickster, you fight with 2 weapons, using your first attack to make your foe vulnerable to your second attack. You learn the twin feint ability. Twin feint takes 2 actions. If you're holding a melee weapon in each of your hands, you can make a dazzling series of attacks with both weapons, using the first attack to throw your foe off guard. Make 1 strike with each of your 2 melee weapons, both against the same target. The target is automatically flat-footed against the second attack. Apply your multiple attack penalty to the strikes normally. Where do I write that down? So that's, I guess that says write that down over here. So twin trickster. And that's twin feint. I'm going to put page 31 right there so I know where to go back to. How to use that. So then we get into 2nd level rogue features and 3rd level rogue features, which I don't think we need, because we're just level 1. Wizard spells right after wizard, where they're easy to find. And then we go to equipment. Let's see what's going on over here in the chat. Beaver says, regarding taxes, make sure you claim your allies as dependents as they depend on you. I want to role play an adventure filing his taxes. Well, if we're filing out our taxes, a rogue is probably the best choice to do it. Yeah, does the rogue file taxes? All right, so then equipment. To leave their mark on the world, your hero needs the right equipment, including armor, weapons, and adventuring gear. This chapter presents the equipment you can purchase during your character creation. You can find these items for sale in most settlements. Write your equipment in the equipment box, which is M on the reverse. Then turn to the sections for each type of equipment to find their statistics. So, rogue, armor, I'm sure I'm going to have to record my armor. Okay, but I do have leather armor. I get a dagger, a rapier, and a short sword. I also have an adventurer's pack, healer's tools, that's important. The healer's tools is important because we can't use our medicine skill without them. So I'm glad it gave it to me. I might have forgotten otherwise. But you can't use your medicine, which we decided was extremely important, if you don't have your healer's tools. So I also have thieves' tools with me. And then I have 2 gold pieces. Oh, nope, that's where copper pieces go. I end up with 2 more gold pieces. So it says the standard form of currency in Pathfinder is coinage, which comes in 3 types: copper pieces, silver pieces, and gold pieces. A silver piece is worth 10 copper pieces and is a standard for most everyday transactions. Gold pieces are often used for purchasing magic items and other expensive items, as 1 gold piece is 10 silver pieces or 100 copper pieces. As you gain experience and gain additional wealth, you should periodically buy new equipment. You might also find equipment for even magic items during your adventures, or you can buy them at once once you have enough money. You can usually buy equipment only in settlements. The GM will let you know when it's time for a shopping spree. You can also sell equipment you aren't using anymore. Most items can be sold at half their price, but broken shields can't be sold at all. Carrying and using items. You can carry items in 3 ways: held, worn, or stowed. Held items are in your hands. You can hold 1 item in each hand, or 1 two-handed item using both hands. Worn items are tucked into pockets, belt pouches, bandoliers, weapon sheaths, and so forth. You can retrieve a worn item with a single action, and putting it back uses another action. As usual, manipulating objects uses the interact basic action. You can drop an item without spending an action. Stowed items are in a backpack or similar container, and you have to spend an action to take off the backpack before you can spend the interact action to retrieve an item stowed within. Most ways of using items require you to spend multiple actions. For instance, making a strike with a dagger worn in a sheath at your belt requires an interact action to draw the dagger and then using a second action to strike. Likewise, you have to draw a potion from your pocket or belt pouch before you can interact with it to drink it. Armor increases your defenses, but medium or heavy armor can hamper movement. Armor protects you only while you're wearing it. If you want to increase your defense beyond the protection your armor provides, you can use a shield. Armor class. Your armor class measures how well you can defend yourself against attacks. When a creature attacks you, your armor class is the DC for that attack roll. Donning and removing armor. Getting into and out of armor is time-consuming. Make sure you're wearing it when you need it. It takes 1 minute to don light armor and 5 minutes to don medium or heavy armor. It takes 1 minute to remove any armor. Armor statistics. The armor table on the next page provides the statistics for a suit of armor that you can purchase and wear, organized by category. It uses the following terms. So I've got leather armor, I see. So the AC bonus is going to be +1. Let's go over here to armor, defenses. This is leather armor. And let's see. So my AC, that's a +1. I believe we discovered that we put that in the item. So I got +1 right there. Beamer RSQ says feint is nice for rogues since it leaves the enemy flat-footed if you succeed, which provokes sneak attacks. I use uncanny tax evasion. I love that. Joe says, in the box, the heritage and ancestry choices are fused together. So your class and subclass and skills you chose. In the box, the heritage, right here. The ancestry choices are fused together. So your class and subclass and skills you chose. It's much easier for newbies. This is the way I recommend Pathfinder. Using the system, my players for the first time build their character in 10 minutes with that tool. We will definitely look at it. If I'm talking about the sneak attacks, yeah, 7% on 2 copper. Weather armor. The hail and sleet coalesce around your body, giving you +4 armor bonus to AC for 1 minute. Sounds like the kind of armor a spell the Fathomer would have. DC equals level, Joe saying. Level plus dex cap plus item bonus. My level is in there? Or are you talking about, like, for instance, that I'm trained? So my proficiency, I'm wearing leather armor, which is light armor, right? Yep, it's light armor. So my proficiency when that is +3. Oh, because I am trained in the armor that I'm wearing. So I get +1 right there. Now, what is my dexterity? There is no, the dex cap is +4 here. So I'm at my dex cap, so +4. I've got a pretty great AC, it looks like. Let's go over here and see what else is going on here. AC. Yeah, gotcha, Joe. Beamer says, if you are at least trained in anything, you add your level as well as... Oh, yeah. So, yeah, got it. So over here, it says trained plus level. Trained plus level. So that's where the level comes in. So that's why that's +3. Gotcha. The level is inherently added to the trained thing. Got it. So if you're not trained, you wouldn't add the level to it. Gotcha. So AC bonus, we said what that is. Dexterity cap is the value of the maximum amount of your dexterity that can apply to your AC while you're wearing a suit of armor. For example, if you have a dex of +4 and wear a suit of half plate, which has a dex cap of +1, you apply at most a +1 dex from your AC to your AC while wearing this armor. In the dex cap box of the defense section of your character sheet, write this number or your dexterity, whichever is lower. Strength threshold. If you're strong enough, was there a strength threshold? No. On the armor I'm wearing. if you're strong enough, you can overcome some of your penalties, your armor's penalties. If your strength value is equal to or greater than this armor value, you can ignore the armor's attack penalty, check penalty, and decrease the speed penalty. There's no speed penalty on leather armor anyway. While wearing armor, you can take this penalty, check penalty. Check penalties over here. I do have a -1 check penalty, though. While wearing armor, you take this penalty to strength and dex-based skill checks, except for the grapple, shove, and trip actions. If you meet the armor's strength threshold, which I do, +0, I've got +2 in strength, you do not take this penalty. Write this number in all of the armor boxes in the skill section of your character sheet G. Well, it's +0 or -0 because I do meet the strength threshold. Speed penalty. While wearing a suit of armor, you take the penalty listed in this entry to your speed. If you meet the armor strength threshold, reduce the penalty by 5, but mine doesn't have any strength penalty. Armor traits. Mine doesn't have any traits, but if a suit of armor has traits, they are listed in the entry. Armor has the following traits. Bulwark. The armor covers you so completely that it provides benefits against some damaging effects. On a reflex save to avoid a damaging effect, such as fireball, you add +3 to your dexterity. Write this benefit in the notes part of your saving throws area. Flexible. The armor is flexible enough it doesn't hinder most actions. Don't apply a check penalty to acrobatics or athletics checks. Write 0 in the armor box for those skills. Noisy. The armor is loud and likely to alert others to your presence. I shouldn't be wearing loud armor as a rogue. The armor check penalty applies to stealth checks, even if you meet the required strength threshold. Write the check penalty in the armor box for stealth skill, which I don't have. Okay. Fists. I don't have a short bow. Maybe I should buy one. How much does a short bow cost? Oh, a short bow costs 3 gold pieces. I'm going to have to adventure. I can't have a short bow right now. I'll have to go adventuring. So, let's see. So, I guess my AC then is 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's a pretty good AC, I think. At least coming from 5th edition D&D, I'd say, hey, that's a pretty good AC. So, I would think that sounds pretty good. Oh, you know what? I may have put this in the wrong place. Let me look over here about my weapon damage. Where was it telling me? No, it does say, when you attack with melee weapons that have the finesse trait, like a short sword, rapier, or dagger, you can add your dex to damage rolls instead of your strength. So, all right. I was calculating damage right here. So, okay, this is strength or dex up here. So, how do I attack? See, a rapier is a piercing weapon. So I check piercing right there. A short sword is a piercing weapon or a slashing weapon. And I don't have a short bow, so I won't put anything down for that. But let's see. Let's see what's going on over here. A simple +1 or -1 can make or break you when things get dire. Rambler says, holy crap, the math is super tight. That's what everybody keeps saying about Pathfinder, that the math is super tight on it. And especially for like encounter building and stuff like that when we were going up. Beamer says, there's a feat that lets you add half of your level minimum 1 to untrained skills, and then your level to them when you reach level 7. Rambler, Sable Phoenix. Hey, Sable Phoenix, good to see you. Is telling Rambler that's one of the main goals when they designed 2E was to make sure the math was as tight as possible. Mark from Roll for Combat talks about it all the time. I hope we get to talk to him. It's also why the rules lawyer has the mantra, every +1 matters. And Rambler says, I know, it makes so much more sense when you're reading the rule book. Beaver Coin says 17 is the best AC you can muster at first level unless you spend 13 out of 15 GP to get Splint, which gives you an AC 18. Oh, did I calculate mine wrong? I got 7. It looks like I have an 18. Looks like I have 18, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does like cap me or something. Let's see. So a short bow, not short bow, short sword. Short sword is agile, finesse, and versatile. Agile, finesse, and versatile. And then a rapier is deadly, D8, and finesse. So what do those mean? We get a bunch of different traits, but agile, it says that the multiple attack penalty when you attack, the multiple attack penalty you take with this weapon on the second attack on your turn is -4 instead of 5 and -8 instead of -10 on the third attack. That should help me be able to attack multiple times. So that seems to be what my specialty is going to be in melee. Deadly, the rapier is deadly. On a critical hit, the weapon adds a weapon damage die of the listed size. Roll this after doubling the weapon's damage. So that's an additional D8. That's deadly D8. So on a critical hit, my rapier gets an additional D8 damage. So it's finesse. So both the rapier and the short sword are finesse weapons. You can use your dexterity instead of your strength on attack rolls using this melee weapon. You may still use your strength for calculating damage, except for I don't. So, because I've got this other special rule. So my dex is +4. So I'm going to use my dex is +4. Let's see. I am trained in both of these. So again, that's a +3. So it looks like my attack bonus is 7 with both of these. +7. Now, the damage here, I need to record the damage of the rapier, which is D6. So D6 +4. This is all sounding pretty good. And the short sword is also D6. D6 +4. Got it. All right, so gear. Your hero needs all sorts of items while exploring, which can range from rations to climbing gear to fancy clothes. Gear statistics. The adventuring gear found on page 47 lists the price for each type of gear. Any item with a number after its name in parentheses indicates that the item's price is for the quantity of that item. Items give how many hands they take. Wearing tools. You can make a set of tools such as climbing gear or healer's gear easy to use by wearing it. This allows you to draw and replace the tools as part, like the healer's equipment sounds very important to wear. Any tools not worn in this manner must be stowed or taken out with an interact action. So what do we get here? Adventurer's pack. That says page numbers. That's on page 46. So I've got an adventurer's pack, which says this item is we also have a dagger over here, but I don't have, we'll look up its statistics later. My main weapons are over here, but should note that I do also have a dagger. Adventurer's pack. This item is a starter kit for adventurers containing all the essential items for exploration and survival. The pack contains the following items: a backpack, a bedroll, 10 pieces of chalk, flint and steel, 50 feet of rope, 2 weeks of rations, soap, 5 torches, and a water skin. Okay, I have a dagger, I have a rapier and a short sword. Oh, that says that's where I have my leather armor. I have Adventurer's Pack 46 right here. Healer's tools. The kit of bandages, herbs, and suturing tools necessary for medicine checks to stabilize, staunch bleeding, and treat wounds. Expanded healer's tools provide +1 item bonus to each check. If you wear your healer's tools, you can draw and replace them as part of the action that uses them. So I'm going to say warned. And then I also have thieves' tools. You need thieves' tools to pick locks or disable devices of some types using the thievery skill. Infiltrator thieves' tools add +1 item bonuses to checks to pick locks and disable devices. If your thieves' tools break, you can repair them by replacing the lock picks with replacement picks appropriate to your tools. This doesn't require using the repair action. If you wear your thieves' tools, you can draw and replace them as part of the action that uses them. Let's wear those as well. I've got 2 extra gold coins. I could buy some more things. Let's go to finishing my hero. Let's see what else is going on over here. So, yeah, Chase confirms that a rogue can get an 18 AC at first level. Trained in light armor is +3. Dex 18 is +4. Leather is a +1. And then add to that 10, 18. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm at 18, and Splint can give you a 19 AC. Yeah, we'll look at character creation online later, but it's nice to work it all out by hand first. But that's, you can also see that's why I love pre-generated characters. So if you want to get to playing, we got pre-generated characters in this box. Pick one, go to town. Or, yeah, online character creation is probably faster. That's for a different day. But okay, so finishing the character. So here we go. Now that you've made most of the biggest decisions for your hero, it's time to calculate their statistics. Many of these statistics include a proficiency bonus. If your hero's proficiency rank for a statistic is trained, the proficiency bonus for that statistic equals your hero's level +2. If it's an expert, the proficiency bonus equals your hero's level +4. If your hero is untrained in that statistic, their proficiency bonus is +0. So your hero's intelligence determines how many skills they know, in addition to those they gain from their background and class. From the full list of skills beginning on page 52, choose a number of skills equal to your hero's intelligence to become trained in. Well, I get even more? Like, is that the way the rogue is supposed to be? Like, if I choose 2 more, I'm going to be close to having them all. Is that really what's supposed to happen? From the full list of skills beginning on page 52, yeah, which I've got listed here on my sheet, choose a number of skills equal to your hero's intelligence to become trained in. Occultism sounds fun, but I'll make a note that's from IQ in case I don't actually get that. And probably performance. You'll let me know in the comments if I'm supposed to do that. If you wear thieves' tools, you can draw attention of the city guard. Yeah, the rogues get tons of skills. So yeah, so most characters don't get this. So I'm supposed to get this number of skills because I'm a rogue. So that's what I'm doing. So using the core rules, you can make a rogue that's trained in every skill at level 1. So that's part of this. Yeah, so rogues are skill monkeys. Not at all unusual. Sable Phoenix says not at all unusual for them to be trained in almost every skill from what I understand. Okay. Oh, Chase says that with a shield, a first level fighter could have an AC as high as 21. Wow. Okay, so I am supposed to be getting all these skills. To the right of each skill on your character sheet, there's an abbreviation that reminds you of the ability modifier for use of that skill. For each skill, add your hero's proficiency bonus for that skill plus the indicated ability modifier. For some skills, like acrobatics or stealth, have an extra box for an armor penalty you will subtract. All right, let's fill this out then. So my proficiency bonus for being trained is 3. So I'm going 3. So I got nothing there. I got nothing there. I got 3 there. I got 3 there. I got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. That's 0. 3, 0, 3. All right. Dex 4. Intelligence 2. Strength 2. Intelligence 2. Charisma 1. Charisma 1. Charisma 1. Intelligence 2. Medicine 0. Uh-oh. At least I'm proficient in medicine. Nature 0. Intelligence 2. Performance 1. Charisma. Wisdom, 0. Intelligence, 2. Dex, 4. Dex, then wisdom, 0. Dex, 4. So that's got a 0 here and a 0 there. So then I'm supposed to total it up. To the right of each skill in your character sheet, there's an abbreviation. So let's total them up. So acrobatics, I've got 7 plus 7. Arcana, plus 2. Athletics, plus 5. Crafting, plus 2. Deception, plus 4. Diplomacy, plus 4. Intimidation, plus 4. Lore, plus 5, and that lore is warfare. Medicine, plus 3. Nature, plus 3. I'm growing attached to this character. Plus 5. Plus 4. Something I've never played before. Plus 0. Plus 5. Stealth, plus 7. Survival. Oh, survival. That's not so good. Ended up with a 0 in survival. Thievery, plus 7. All right, perception. A hero's perception measures their alertness. Add their proficiency bonus for perception, which I am an expert in. So that would be 5 plus wisdom. Oh, plus 0. But that still gives me a plus 5. Emir says, Chase, there's no shield proficiencies, which is why monks can use shields, which I don't like. Sable Phoenix says, I've been going through my PDFs I ordered a week ago. The books are still on their way, and it's all so good. Exactly addresses all the frustrations I've had with building up 5e over the last year. I agree. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I would definitely, I mean, I've got, the reason I started playing 5e instead of something else is because when I got back into gaming, everybody's playing 5e. I hadn't gotten into Pathfinder, but if I were running something now, I think I would definitely do this. Obedient Mammal says, and really the math is all set up at the beginning. Add 1 each level until you go up in ranking. Okay, so saving throws. We got saving throws over here. Add up your total for each of your heroes' 3 saving throws. Saving throws. The saving trolls. That's something else. Fortitude. Add our proficiency bonus plus Constitution. So Fortitude, Constitution. Oh, that's plus 0. So my proficiency bonus is I'm trained, so that's a 3. So I've got plus 3 in Fortitude saving throws. I am an expert in reflexes, which seems to be great. I'm going to be really good at that. So I've got a plus 9 in reflex saving throws. Sounds like exactly what I should be doing. Flipping all over the place. Proficiency, will is 5. It surprises me that I'm proficient in will saving throws. So will, I go to wisdom, but that's good because my wisdom is plus 0. So at least that gets me a plus 5 in wisdom saving throws. So I will take it. Defenses. Your hero's armor class represents how difficult it is to hit in combat. We might have already filled this one out. To calculate AC, add 10 plus your hero's dexterity up to the armor's dex cap, their proficiency bonus with the types of armor you choose, and add that item's AC. So I got that. So AC 18. Weapon attacks. You'll need to calculate I think we did this too. Okay. You'll need to calculate your hero's attack statistics for strikes with each weapon that they have and how much damage each strike deals. For damage with each attack, add your hero's proficiency bonus for that weapon. For each weapon's attack, add your hero's proficiency bonus for that weapon, plus strength for melee strikes or dexterity for range strikes. If the dexterity is higher and your melee weapon has the finesse trait, you can add dexterity instead of strength for that strike. You also need to calculate how much damage each weapon strikes deal. Melee weapons and strikes and ranged weapons that have this thrown trait add their strength to damage rolls. If your hero is a rogue and your weapon has the finesse trait, add dexterity instead. We took care of that. Other ranged weapons don't add anything to the damage roll. Oh, alignment. Man, I forgot about alignment. So we're dealing with alignment here. Your hero's alignment is the general indicator of their morality and how strongly they favor consistency and flexibility. If you play a cleric, your hero's alignment must be one of the allowed for their deity. Desna's clerics must be neutral good, chaotic good, or chaotic neutral. Sarenray's clerics must be lawful good, neutral good, or chaotic good. Torg's clerics must be lawful good or lawful neutral. Choose one of the following for your hero. Let's go chaotic good. Alignment, chaotic good. All right. Then it says name and pronouns. I'd already picked a name. Don't forget to name your hero and decide on pronouns. I'm just going to say, okay, this is male, elf. So, all right, that's definitely he, him. All right, there we go. Done. Characters of all genders or no gender are equally likely to become adventurers. Record your hero's name and pronouns at the top section of your character sheet. If you'd like, you can also draw your hero's appearance and write a description of what they look like. So I can draw one out or maybe come up with something to create one for me later. So I'm not going to draw that right now. Let's see. So that's it. All right. I have a character. Other things on the back, in case you're wondering, are about spell casting, and we did not create a spell casting player. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have filled this out if I were a cleric who's got spells or a wizard who's got spells. Adventuring log, notes, and the spells that I know. So I don't have any of that. Looks like I got a rogue. I'm excited. I'd want to play one. Numbers in Pathfinder 2 are much bigger than in AD&D 5e, and that's probably good because we've talked about so much on this channel with AD&D or D&D 5th edition that your numbers, your modifiers can be so small that they're overwhelmed by the D20. So things like, I mean, it still looks like we're going to have that effect. So I'd have to completely look at what that effect this has on Kickstarter, but they seem to be on Pathfinder, but they seem to have the math down. So I would look at that because it's something I'm interested in. But because the numbers are larger, that does mean that the numbers influence the roll more. Now, some of these numbers are still small, but this is still level 1. But it means, to me, it seems like there's still going to be a lot of randomness with the D20. Oh. So let's see. Chase says, you're correct. I'm going to take this down and close down the auxiliary camera system. You're correct. I've been used to not having shields with my speedier classes like rogues and monks. They can do much more than that with that extra action than just raising a shield. Amir says, so they can use one. Chase is saying, my personal fantasy of a monk never really included a shield, but mechanically it's one of the best ways to min-max a tanky monk. Flurry of blows frees up an action to raise the darn shield. So actually regarding static DCs will get easier as you level, assuming you are at least trained. But because opposition grows with level, it doesn't make as big a difference as you would think. But the static defenses, static defenses should get easier because you're adding your level to that. And now actually, we need to look at Castles and Crusades, because I think they also are adding their level to stuff, which should make, as you go up, things become less swingy too. Amir says, even challenges means the D20 matters more. Once the difference in challenge is high, the D20 matters less. The numbers being higher here is still a big complaint I hear from 5e players. I wonder secretly if they just don't want to do the math. Piccadilly says, more fun lore time, this time with LGBTQ plus flavor. The goddess Sarenrae is in a polyamorous relationship with two other goddesses, Desna and Shalene. Paizo stays winning with the rep. We'll have to get into all the lore. Not a recommended rule, Malikin says. Punishes one with the common third actions. Bear in mind it takes an action to use a shield, so you pay for that +2. Obedient Mammal says, plus, on a strike, a crit is a natural 20. Or, right, there are two ways to do a crit. Or, if you hit with an AC 10 or higher, hit an AC 10 or higher. For example, if an enemy has an AC of 16 and you roll a 26 or higher, that's considered a crit. I love that rule. And Lake the Pondling says, Paizo sells inexpensive standalone adventures if you have the itch to run and don't want to splash out a lot of money on a full adventure. That's good to know. And also, there are adventures that in this starter box. So, of course, we did not look at any of the starter box adventures. So if you're going through the different look at the starter box that we have done here, there won't be spoilers for that you can run. We did go through the solo adventure, though, and kind of learned how to play. I do believe that concludes our entire look at the Pathfinder beginner's box then. That was pretty neat. The multi-day adventure on looking through that. I really enjoyed that. I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. And I really appreciate everybody who has been here to watch along, but also especially those people who are already familiar with Pathfinder and have helped so much me and everybody else learn the system. That has really been great. Okay, this was an extra long kind of morning grind this morning, but that's all right because I wanted to be sure that I got all the way through character creation because I didn't want to return to it. I kind of thought all that needed to be done at once. And I'm excited about my elf rogue. Maybe I will get to play it one day. So I have enjoyed with everybody. There will be no live stream tonight. Thursday, we are traditionally off. So tomorrow we will be back here in the morning with the morning grind, although I am going to try to post some additional clips from the conversation with Mark Tassin about the OGL situation this afternoon. Try to get at least one or two of those done. I have other videos I could record on that subject, and we thought about putting that out, so that could be coming out, but I needed more energy than I had yesterday in order to record them. But I've got a lot of other business stuff that's got to be done today as well. Yes, please do like, subscribe. Hey, I found out that only 9%, I was looking at the stats, only 9% of the people who've been watching my videos are subscribed. That's a very low statistic. So we need to be able to get that up to 25%, I think. They said that's much more common. For some reason, only 9% of the people who've been watching my videos are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. It's free, of course, but that would really help out. So please do like and subscribe. I will see you around in the Discord server, around in the comments on YouTube and everything else. And then again tomorrow for the morning grind. Bye, everybody. Grind on.